would be 100% possible. What happened there? I know.
What happened? We're
There
wonky.
we go. I fixed it. It's okay.
Good morning, Rogersville.
Top of the morning to you.
Good morning.
We're just having a good pre-show laugh
We are, as usual.
about things we can't discuss.
Dark humor. It's very dark.
Very dark.
Hey, Beth.
So dark.
And humor.
Hey, Beth. Good morning.
Good to have you joining us once
always
again.
good to
here
have Beth.
on the wall.
Beth, tell us you're eating waffles right now.
Ah, that sounds good. I have a
If
good
you were
waffle
eating a
recipe.
waffle right now, what would you put on it?
Chicken.
Chicken?
Chicken.
Are you a chicken and waffles guy?
I like chicken and waffles.
Never had it?
Yeah.
Don't want to.
Chicken and waffles. Pretty good.
It's just like a sandwich.
I know.
It's not like this sort of
And
weird.
back when I used to eat junk,
Yeah.
I was a big fan of the McGriddle.
Oh,
Because
I
do
call
Chicken
that,
McGriddle.
I call
is
it
the
a
best.
gradlock.
A what?
A gradlock.
A grad?
Gradlock, what?
We were talking this has been years ago about McGriddles. And somehow it was just one of those conversations that just kept morphing into things. And then it became, from that point on, known as a gradlock.
A gradlock.
Okay.
Isn't that funny? Okay.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, there's funny little things your kids say that they pronounce wrong.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, and
Yeah.
and you listen and you go, what? What are you talking about?
That
And, you
was
know,
what- that's what we did.
it's a sad day when they learn to pronounce it correctly.
I know.
know.
Oh, I missed
Because
that.
Jack used to always want Emilade.
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 Is that
Emilade.
lemonade?
Lemonade.
Yeah.
He would want Emilade. And
Aw,
yeah, and
I
then
know.
Then he learned to pronounce it, and
That's sad.
now he's
We still call it hamnetizer, you know, because give me some hamnetizer.
It's
hamnetizer.
Yeah.
Claire's one of her claims to fame is Manya's. Any ideas what that is?
yes, mayonnaise,
Mayonnaise?
Nope, Manya's.
bananas,
Bananas.
Bananas. Oh my gosh.
And she still
play
says,
along, folks.
She
What
still
do you got?
says
Well-
napkins, which is adorable.
Beth's playing along.
Pecans. She's
pecans.
gonna put some pecans on her waffles.
Yeah, pecans. How
Pecans
do
on the
you
waffle.
say that?
Pecans?
Pecan.
There
I say
are-
pecans.
I say pecans. Pecan pie. It's not pecan.
It's not pecan.
No,
'Cause
pecans.
who wants a pecan?
Pecan's what you put in the boat.
Yes,
When you go out.
exactly.
What's a pecan in a boat?
It's
where you gotta go
It's
pee.
the can where you
Oh,
go pee.
pecan.
Yeah.
It's a pecan.
Check. I'm on the same wavelength now. Got it.
It's a pecan.
Ours as a kid was an old Folgers can, to be
Yeah.
fully
You
transparent.
can't just pee off a boat.
Well, yeah, but when you're little, you know,
Oh, yeah, that doesn't work very well.
because dad's like holding you by the life jacket,
And you're
you
like-
get stage fright, you know, the whole bit.
Where there's like speedboats going by.
Right. Waves makes it tricky.
We've already hit so many subjects.
I
We've been
know.
on for 5
I know.
minutes.
It's a rapid fire on Morning Waffle today.
Back to the original question.
wonder
What
if
do I usually put on waffles?
Yeah.
I'm a purist on waffles. I just like syrup.
Straight up maple syrup.
Syrup, or I'll do whipped cream and some fruit.
Oh my.
That's
Okay,
good.
there you go. Poondoo instead of shampoo.
Poondoo, yeah.
Okay.
I like that.
Poondoo's awesome.
Poondoo. Hand me the poondoo. that is great.
Thanks for sharing. Appreciate that.
You got Lauren to laugh this morning.
That's great.
The poondoo.
Yeah, I love that.
I'm
That's-
really, I'm out
Mom,
of
we're out of
poondoo.
poondoo. I like that.
Emilade.
Oh, Emilade, Poondoo, Manya's,
Hamnetizer.
Hypnotizer.
Piscetti.
That
All the
sounds
kids
like
say
it could be
Yeah,
a
everybody
sandwich.
says that.
Hypnotizer sounds like it could be a sandwich.
Ooh, yeah, that's a serious
It
ham sandwich
does.
right there.
Does anybody know anyone that eats breakfast?
Breakfast. Breakfast.
Brefkes?
Breakfast.
Wow.
Your brefkes
The
is really
Russians.
rad today.
I actually knew some adults that ate breakfast.
Brefkes.
Oh,
It is.
Sometimes
It's next level when adults get it wrong.
It really is,
Like,
'cause-
yeah, not to be Pacific about it.
right.
anything,
Yeah,
but
I don't want to be specific about it.
I had my Cadillac converter stolen the other day.
Did you? Your Cadillac?
My Cadillac converter got
converter.
stolen.
Yeah.
Current events topic in
right.
Rogersville.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Yeah, but when adults go wrong usage on words,
Yes.
it's just like, oh boy.
Yeah,
Was it the nuclear option?
Yeah, the nuclear. That one's a little bit forgivable when you
Yeah.
get a president that can't say nuclear.
my grandma was notoriously known for saying camel instead of Campbell. Like there was an ambulance
Camel
going down
Street.
Camel.
An ambulance.
Ambulance. Going down
Ambulance.
Camel.
Going down
Which
Camel-
is weird
Camel
because
Avenue.
she was very like well spoken. So I don't know what the disconnect was with
Those two
things.
just got stuck.
Common
Yeah.
one, February.
Oh, February.
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 There's no U between the
Yep.
B and the R. There's
That's
no
why
U.
I've always misspelled that my whole life.
February.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
My birthday is in February. So
Oh, it's coming up then.
it is coming up. Yep.
That's exciting.
Yep. Well, not really. The big one was last year.
That's
Not
true.
anymore.
Nobody cares about 51. doesn't count.
Just picking up steam, rolling down that hill.
That's right. Just faster and faster.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Sure
But
it is.
malapropisms, I kind of enjoy those. I use those a lot too.
What?
A malapropism.
Malapropism.
That's when you intentionally mix a metaphor or I got places
silly.
to go and people to be. I say that all the time.
Yep.
It's a malapropism. It's you take a common phrase and
Burn dust, eat my rubber.
yeah, we'll burn that. Yeah, we'll burn that bridge when we get to it.
We'll burn that bridge.
So these are things that they're malapropisms. You take a common phrase and twist it either
Don't-
intentionally or
yeah.
unintentionally.
Yeah, don't take that the way I meant it.
That's
yeah,
a
that's
hoot.
right. Yep.
That's fun.
Yep. Good stuff.
This morning, Clara was referencing here recently. Jesse did kind of like a smoky burnout on a parking lot with the girls, just
well
being
now.
fun, out
Yeah.
of character, being fun, right? And the pavement was kind of wet, and it was pretty. It was pretty epic. So this morning, Claire, we're going in, we're driving in, and Claire's like, "Remember that time we were going to Miss Vicky's house and Dad was driving and we left the post office and he did that thing?" And I'm like, "What?" And she's like, "You know that thing?" And I was kind of half paying attention, half not. She's like, "That thing,
burnout.
you know that we did?" Yeah. She goes, "What's that called?" I said, "A burnout." Or I said, "Sometimes I call that a peel out." And she goes, "I like burnout." And then I want to be like, don't go to school and be like, "My dad's a burnout."
Nothing like a little careless and prudent driving.
Yeah,
That's right.
so I was like, say burnout in the truck if you use the term burnout in the truck.
Yeah.
Please. Clara. It was funny.
Yeah, kids say the darndest things.
What they
Don't
do?
they? We should start a show.
We should. Yeah, that'd be unique. Nobody's ever. No way.
Oh, you can just sit them down in the chair and let them talk.
Just don't be a weirdo.
Ask him.
So I started to say something else. Whoever the host is, keep it cool, man.
Yeah, we don't need any creepy.
Yeah, we don't need
hosts.
creepy hosts.
Unfortunately, Bill Cosby did that show for a while.
Oh, jeez. Bill, darn it.
I'm glad you
Gross.
caught up to my conversation. there,
Yeah,
Will.
I did. Yeah. Well, it was.
I'm way behind
before
this
that.
morning.
It was somebody else did the show before Bill did.
Yeah,
because
who
they did
was
it back
it?
in like the 60s or 70s.
Yes.
He also did. It was. I'm
trying to remember who that was.
It wasn't the candid camera guy that did the original candid camera. I don't know. Can't remember his
I
name.
don't think so.
Okay.
Well,
Well,
if any of our listeners
we have some
remember.
smart viewers out there that can probably fill us in on this in a few
Yep.
seconds once our broadcast catches up with our conversation.
No, that's right.
It is good. You
Well,
guys,
we're regulated.
Our link letter. That's it, Sharon.
Oh,
Thank
look
you.
at you, Sharon.
Thank you,
Sharon
Sharon.
coming
you.
through.
That's exactly. But
Golly, we got some great
Yep. It's exactly
viewer. God, I can't think of the word.
brain trust. There's a good brain trust
Audience?
out there. They're smart
Viewers?
people.
Interaction.
Interactions. Okay, all right.
Guys, my brain is not working this
how do you
morning.
say interaction?
I'm like, I'm in a studio.
Blah, blah,
Things are
blah, blah.
happening. I have no idea what's going on.
It's a Monday on a
Some
Tuesday.
great viewer interaction this morning.
There we go.
Yes,
You
thank
got
you.
it out.
Appreciate that.
Sharon just says our viewers are old people. That's what she says. Not all of them.
Oh, that's funny.
We'll take anybody. We'll take them
just
all.
insulted
You're
our
not,
interaction.
you're not old, Sharon.
No, spring.
I mean, your
chickens.
husband is, who just had a birthday last week. But,
Kaboom.
Oh, burn.
Cha-ching.
That's good.
Oh, burn.
Oh,
You just
burn
said
on
that.
Bernie.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't mean that.
I did it. I
Nice.
didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. See, I'm
I was
that
giving
slow
you
this
credit.
morning.
Yeah.
No, I'm 10 steps back. I am not on my game at all.
Should we just end the show right now?
Yeah.
Maybe we're on
It's
a high.
probably
Yeah,
for
the
best.
shark's coming. I
We've
can
had
tell.
had some laughs. We're having a good
Sharks
time.
got me.
They jumped that thing.
There's a lot
yeah.
of references in our things that are comments from previous shows, so everyone should go back and watch all of them. Let us know.
More coffee.
Yeah, I
Lauren
need
Brooke.
to highly caffeinate.
Yep.
Story time.
That's right.
It is good this
Got our
morning.
story
I'm having
time
the
coffee.
We
Tens
were
me
off.
up.
Yeah, the shop was closed 2 days last week because of the snow. It's
Yep.
it's back up in full force. So if
awesome.
you were missing your story time, go get it.
Yeah.
That's an
Coffee's
interesting
hot.
topic. Okay.
The snowstorm. You want to talk about shutting
Let's talk
things
about
down?
snowstorm. So, COVID has seemed to have given us a very specific reaction to things where we're like, I think we're going to close anything. Okay, so
Everything.
is that good or bad? Were we too 24/7 before? Where, like, no, I don't care if there's 16 feet of snow, employee. You better get there and you better open that pretzel stand. You know what I mean? Or what do we think? What do you think, guys?
I'm neutral on it. I don't think it's good or bad until it becomes
fair.
good or bad. And I think a lot of businesses learned that you can do things remotely, and there are times to just say, yeah, we're good. But
I think that is good.
But then there are times, because everybody, it's human nature to take it to the dark side, right? And so,
Oh yeah.
yeah. So I think some people are going to hide behind that, and I
think so.
It can go bad in a hurry.
I think to Lauren's point, I think it's well taken, is that it may have helped us restore some balance.
Yes, because we were out of balance.
We were, we were running pretty hard and heavy all the time. And I think it has restored some balance. The thing that it did for me is I was already, let's do it virtual, let's do electronic, let's do Zoom, let's do all this virtually. And nobody else in my field, in the legal field, wanted to do that. Put on your suit,
right,
bring your papers, get out your ink pen, and we're going to do this. And everybody's going to come and wait for 3 hours until the judge has 5 minutes to hear you. And there was this colossal waste, and the pandemic forced everybody online, and suddenly everybody jumped into my world and went, "Oh, we can do this virtually." I'm like, "Yeah, you can."
Yeah, so you can. It saves everybody time and money.
But I think the trick there is to figure out when is that appropriate. I can't tell you how many church staff meetings I sat in that was the greatest waste of my time ever, and it was like, this was an email, this was not a meeting, but it was on the calendar that we're going to meet every Tuesday morning or Monday morning,
be mindful
and it's like
of people's time.
And so there was a lot of wasted time, but at the same time, we learned after at least a year solid of Zoom meetings that we need some face-to-face interaction.
Sometimes you need some face-to-face time.
The facial expressions come out a little more clearly, tone of voice comes out a little more clearly. You don't have that lag time, and sometimes you just need to be in the room together to sort something out.
Well, yeah,
so it's a
I
balance.
think so. I think it is a balance. And I mean, I was like a retail manager for 10 years, and there with places that did not close, right? And it was like, and I also, for the last 8 of that, lived right by where I worked. And so, I mean, there was no snow days. I was expected to be there, which was fine. But I do think we had gone way off the scales. There's obviously things that out of necessity have to be open. We have to have our police, fire, and EMT. We have to have our hospitals, probably pharmacies, gas stations, like road crews. Yeah. That's kind of it, right? Am I missing something? Nursing home staff, hospital staff. I mean, it really boils down to necessities.
Well, there are things that have to be open and available all the time as a function of the society as we currently exist.
Or it doesn't work.
There are other things that you can do without for a little bit. Like you can close a grocery store for a day or two. But eventually you've got to restore that ability to go get Oreos.
And I want to say thank you to Apple Market talking about that, because I went to Apple Market. I mean, I live right there, so it's not like I trekked across town to get there. But, I went right down the street. I needed something. I don't know if it was Saturday or Sunday morning. It's all blurred together at this point. And the staff there was so nice and in such a good mood. Because I remember the days myself, if I was working on Christmas Day or in a snow day, I'd be mad while I was at work. And I probably was not the most friendly person on the planet. But they were...
Aisle 4.
Oh, get out of here. But, sorry. But they were they were there and they were doing their job and the parking lot was clear and they were stocking as best as that they could because they obviously had been wiped out. So thank you, Apple Market. It was very delightful.
I really like our Apple Market. I've heard some people throw some shade their way, but it's a great place. The more I'm cooking, the more I'm shopping, and the more I'm there, the more I find first of all, the people really are always friendly and helpful.
Always.
Sometimes it takes a snowstorm to remind you they're in town and you need them.
Yeah, but
and you're glad they're there.
I'm
well, and I'll say this: I'm thrilled with the whole AMI Day thing with school.
Oh, yes. Hallelujah.
There's no reason that kids can't do 2 hours worth of homework before they go play in the snow.
Right.
However, I think, I don't want to come across as complaining because, I just think all systems need tweaked, right?
Sure.
So, a great example is, my daughter was supposed to have an algebra test on Monday. And I guess the teacher said, hey, it's still on.
Yeah.
Well, after 3 days of not being in the classroom, she was sweating it. Going, I'm not prepared to take a test on Monday just because we had some work sent to us at home.
Algebra test makes me want to puke.
Yeah, so there's there's a place for the online learning. I'm a big fan of online learning. I loved online education versus the conventional classroom. Yeah, it just suited me so much better. But there's still a place for you need the instruction. Yeah. You need a person to say, I need you to walk through this with me again.
Yeah.
Yep.
And algebra for me, math is one of those subjects. History, nope. Give me independent study. I don't need a lecture.
Well, there's one of there's potentially the opportunity coming from all of this, what I really liked about the virtual learning, and when I spent a day watching some 13 kids from Springfield that was shut down, and we were keeping them at our church because their parents didn't have anything to do with them.
Yeah.
So I spent the day with them, and I'm watching them do their work, and I'm thinking, there's a real opportunity here to do some individualized, personalized education in the future. I mean, the whole system has to be built out, but for me, going through, you could advance me pretty quickly through certain subjects, but I needed to be remedial in some others.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
But no, you're at this grade level, so you're learning this level.
Right. No child left behind, right?
Exactly. And, math was never my strong suit, but other stuff I could do very, very well. And I think all kids are that way.
Sure.
And so
absolutely.
I've kind of been a proponent, you could be 10 years old and doing junior level math, but first grade English. Yeah. And that's fine. Yeah. That's perfectly fine. And I could re-envision the whole educational system based on personalized individual learning.
I'm having a deep thought here.
The two non-teachers with life teachers, they're probably listening going, you idiots.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
You guys are so stupid. Which, granted, we probably are. But I'm having a deeper thought here, right? So our education system is basically a government system, state, local. It's not necessarily a federal system, but it is a government entity.
It is now.
And
I was gonna say.
Technology has always been a forefront, move forward, don't look behind, don't lag behind, and government doesn't work that way, right? Because it's a process. So it's probably time, and I've been thinking this for a while, to completely retool, not teachers and that part of the education system, because they're awesome, but the time frames we have assigned to the education system, like having summers off. Mm-hmm. Well, summers off were created in a time where one parent was home or both parents were home and they were working a farm to feed people,
and you needed the kids.
And you needed the kids to work, and you had like 6 kids to help you work the farm, and they had to be off during the summer. That's really, it's the case for some people, but not the vast majority.
A lot of the world does go full round school.
Yeah, and I would love to see us go to, and this is me being a little selfish, I would love to see us going to more time off in the winter and less time off in the summer, because it stresses me out in the summertime when I have to figure out this chunk. And luckily I have a wonderful support system, and a lot of people don't have that, but I still get stressed out because I'm like, okay, they're going to go to summer school this session and summer school this session, and at my mom's house on this day, and Jesse's working from home and they can be here. And the people who don't have a good support system, their kids end up in a really crappy situation, i.e., when I was at a restaurant in Springfield, when Springfield closed, and there's like a very active 12-year-old literally bouncing around a dining room at a restaurant while her mother is working the line. And that freaked me out, because I'm like, holy crap, mom is stressed at work trying to do her job, right? Kid is uncomfortable and really in kind of a dangerous situation. Right. Because we have hundreds of people filing through the door, and that's how you end up victimized, right? Mm-hmm. So we have a dangerous situation that has been created out of a situation that was supposed to keep it from being dangerous. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So COVID's flared up. We got to get these kids out of school to keep them safe. But now the weakest of the weak, or the people who don't have the support, are up a S creek, right?
It's difficult.
It's a bad deal.
A sloppy creek.
Yeah, sloppy Joe Creek.
Yeah.
So... And that was such I sat there and I'm like, and her mom was really trying to do her job, and this kid wasn't having it. And I don't blame her.
Yeah, that's
How
hard.
could you sit in a dining room?
And if you don't have a support system, like in my family, my mom would be able to step in, or my sister or whoever, somebody can help out, but not everybody has that.
No, we live on a family compound, which makes it really nice because mom and dad, grandpa and grandma, mom and dad, Aunt Sarah, we're all
walk across the field.
Yeah, we're all right there, so it's awesome. Yeah, Sharon's got a question here. What would parents do in the wintertime off? Parents freak out with the snow days.
I think more of a balanced system where
4 quarters, a week off between each quarter.
Off. You have a couple weeks off during Christmas time. That also helps knock down flu or COVID a little bit. You have a couple weeks off in summer, and then you have breaks. And that way it's just a built-in schedule. Mm-hmm. And I like this 4-day-a-week school.
Did you see Marshfield?
I like that.
Just went to that.
Yeah, there's a lot of schools going to that.
Crazy. You're going to talk about parents having to reshuffle schedules. I mean, that's one of the biggest arguments against it.
Well, that's that's a step then towards a 4-day work week.
4-day work week, yeah. Which, A lot of people are pretty strong proponents of that.
Let's be honest.
1 day virtual and 4 days in the office.
That's another thing that needs to be readjusted. This concept of, you need to show up and be there 8 to 5, Monday through Friday to do your job. Bull crap.
Depends on the job.
Depends on the job.
I mean, if you're screwing nuts on bolts, you kind of got to be there.
Yeah.
And if that's your job, and there's nothing wrong with that job. I love that job. I have a lot of stuff that have nuts and bolts in them, and I need that to happen.
Yeah, it's just as vital as anything else.
But it's it's got to happen. You got to be there to do that. But can you have 4-day shifts, 8 hours a day? Sure, you can do that.
Yeah, a lot of it. Yeah.
Well, what was funny is I saw a meme that it was like Henry Ford, the evil inventor of the 5-day, 40-hour work week. I'm like, yeah, but you understand people were working 6-day, 100-hour work weeks before him. Right. So he's actually the good guy. And everybody's mad at him because he created this work week. I'm like,
he's cutting him a check because they're producing something. And
he actually made it better. Yeah. And now people want more. But I think it was the Jetsons that were like, this 2-day work week is killing me. it was an episode, George. It was 2-day work weeks, man.
Where they simplified all of life, right? By machines.
His job was pushing a button.
Yep.
He just pushed the button. That was his whole job. And 2 days a week, and he just was like, couldn't take it anymore.
The precursor to Homer Simpson, right?
Shauna wants to work from home. Shauna wants to work from home.
I'll come to your house and get an IV.
Beth apparently has had Beth has a 4-day work week.
Oh, there you go.
Sometimes I have a 4-day work week. Sometimes I have a 6-day work week. Sometimes I have a 2-day work week.
And that's where
you work for yourself.
I'm lost on the conversation
because
in ministry, you're just always on, and you have to learn to put up boundaries. And early days, I always felt the need to prove myself because pastors get accused of just, you just work on Sundays,
only work on Sundays.
Blah, blah. It's the classic joke, and it's like,
if only you knew.
It's I've had to learn to shut it off, put my phone away and walk away. And again, when you're an entrepreneur or something like what I do, which I'm both, you can work as much as you want, work and run yourself into the ground. So I don't have...
Beth's retired, so she had a 4-day work week.
I can't imagine being in an office cubicle where I'm required to be there from 8 to 5, but I've only got 6 hours of work to do that day. And I'm sure that happens.
100%.
No wonder people are scrolling Facebook and,
that's
playing solitaire back in the day.
I think most jobs can be done, at a different time frame than we've assigned to them.
Yeah. But I've always told people that worked for me, I need the office open and the phone's answered between, these hours that people expect it. But other than that, if your work is getting done, I really don't care.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If the work's getting done, of course, then you have people. You're like, your work's not getting done. It's like, what? I don't understand. But give an inch, take a mile. But you find the right people. That's hard. And everybody has their own role to fill. And I get it because in an entrepreneurial scenario, you're trading. To somewhat the comfort of I only have to work 8 to 5, and when I leave, I can leave it all at the office or at work, and I don't ever have to think about it. Ugh. But when you become an entrepreneur, you give that up. It's 9 o'clock at night.
Your inflexibility increases, the amount you work, I think, increases, and your worry increases.
Yeah.
So because it's. That's what I do. And it was wonderful because over this snow day, it just happened to hit a time where I didn't have a lot of stuff going on. And I was able to be at home with the girls for the most part. I had to go do some stuff and be home with the girls and do their AMI packets, which on day 3, I was like, your dad's going to do this with you because I am not writing anymore with you heathens. But in the AMI packets for the elementary kids, I think are totally different than high school and middle school. Yeah. So they're very manageable.
Emma's asked a question, is the system always a problem? Maybe if one seeks a new system, one could also seek a new job. And I get that. Sometimes the system is the problem. Sometimes it's how you interact with the system that's the problem.
Right. Well, a great example. When I got out of ministry for 1 year, I worked for an accounting firm, and I was the sales rep. And I never could shut off the way I did ministry when I went into that workforce. And so, in fact, my employer goes, I think you care about these people's business more than they care about their business, which I received that as a really high compliment. But I had a pastoral concern for every one of our clients. Like, I couldn't shut it off.
That's so funny.
I was worried about how their finances were going. I was worried about them personally. Yeah, no, seriously. I I would go to try to close a deal, and next thing I know, I'm like
You're praying with them.
praying with him and caring for him, and it's just like I couldn't shut it off.
And that's okay.
Oh,
but it was,
my gosh.
So I worked. I had hours, but I never had a hard time filling the hours because I was just anyway
creating more work for yourself.
And that's when I realized I'm not a sales. Oh, I am a sales rep. I was actually quite good at it, but it was,
you're better
for
at selling
Jesus.
Yeah.
Beth just points out working from home does take a lot of discipline, but you can get more done uninterrupted.
Yeah.
And the question is, can you be uninterrupted at home? Back when I was working in an office, I mean, the best thing to do was to get there at 7 and have an hour to an hour and a half and basically get your work done for the day. And that's kind of how I during the pandemic, especially, that's how I worked. I would get up early. I would get everything I needed to get done by 7. And, then
you could just deal with things as they came up.
Just deal with things that came up. So.
See, I'm such an extrovert. You put me in an office space, it's hard for me to work.
Yeah.
Because I'm the drop-in guy. We'll just talk and we'll have a good time, and
can't stand you guys.
Yeah. And next thing you know, it's an hour's gone by. I'm like, gotta go to work.
I'm trying to get some work done. There's an introvert in my door, or an extrovert in my door, trying to talk to me. I'm like,
so
I
what's funny is
get my work done.
Snow days. The family's at home. I'm driving in 9 inches of snow to get to the office, and nobody's here, so I can work.
Yeah.
And so, I had the church office. We didn't have an office.
Now, to me, that sounds awesome, but you don't like that because nobody's here.
No, I don't like it, but it's where I get my work done. So I'm an extrovert that knows I have to pull away.
Sure.
Yeah.
And so, I would drive up here to have quiet time to study. Well, I didn't have a church office for 4 years, 3.5 years. And so once we got one, then we opened the coffee shop. I have a hard time coming here and working because I've got people constantly coming by, which is awesome.
Yeah, sorry about that, by the way.
Yeah, no, it's
I dropped in the other day.
It's fantastic until I'm trying to get something written, So I have to then I go back home to a quiet house, and my dog lets me write. So
isn't it funny how you build these things and then you get them and you're like, oh, I didn't think about that.
It's awesome. Oh, I can't work.
It's unintended consequences.
And it is. It's an adjustment. And I keep having this thought that even though 2022, I believe, is going to be a big year of, I think it's going to be a turning point, right? You would think COVID would have been the turning point. But 2020 was like a panic.
Well, I think it's like an S curve. Like we were this way, and then we're like that, and now we're going like this, and then we're going to kind of come out of that thing.
2021 was kind of we're going to wait and see how this goes. Yeah. And everybody's like, it's not going well.
So there is, and I was thinking about this yesterday.
I feel like 2022 is like it's coming.
Yeah.
The change is coming.
Well, I think
and
it's a recalibration.
Yeah.
And it's you mentioned Joe Rogan earlier. People are rediscovering why free speech matters.
Oh my God, it matters.
That's all we heard about.
But what you're seeing is how threatened so many people are by free speech, and that's
scary.
Very scary.
But what I'm saying is, I think the pendulum's swinging back, where we had this little experiment of censorship, and people are going, that's not good.
Yeah.
It's like,
whoops.
Hello. A couple hundred years ago, some guy sat in a room and said, hey, we need to make sure that people have the right, even stupid people have the right to speak freely.
Well, you don't have free speech if you don't have stupid speech.
That's right.
Yeah.
You don't have free speech if you don't have offensive speech, and you don't have free speech if you don't have racist speech.
Yeah.
You don't have free speech.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the only thing free speech protects now is pornography.
Yeah.
Which it was never intended to protect. It was intended to protect political speech, and that's the only thing getting censored now. So we are way off.
Very weird.
But I really do believe people are figuring it out and going, oh, we've swung too far. And not as quickly as I want people to figure it out, but I do see some wheels turning. And then, things like, you start reading headlines the last couple of weeks, people are going, I guess we're just going to have to learn to live with COVID. And I've been saying that for 2 years.
Oh, I know. All of a sudden, these national news people are like, well,
I guess we have to learn to deal with it.
Dierks Bentley, right? So
really?
Dierks Bentley is a musician, and I'm a big fan of Dierks. I don't know what his political. He doesn't seem to talk about it much.
Right?
It doesn't matter.
Good.
You're a musician. Do your thing. I don't need your political thoughts.
Yeah, I'm a realtor. I don't preach politics at my clients when I'm selling real estate. Unless they bring it up.
We can talk. But you're not preaching at him. You're just talking about it.
I'm not preaching. We're talking about it. Yeah. So he posts on his Instagram. Of course, he has a huge Instagram following. He didn't post his opinion, but he posted some screenshots of articles. I think it was from the New York Times or something saying, is it time to unmask kids after Omicron?
That was the next thing I was going to bring
up. Is
up.
it time to start moving on from the pandemic? And so he's not his opinion, but screenshots of, let's say leftist media outlets bringing it up. And it's like, yeah, guys, it's time.
Yeah, it's time. That's why I just lowered my mic, because we forget nonverbals are a massive part of communication.
Yeah.
Our children need to see our teachers' faces. They need to see their parents' faces. We need to see faces.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. I think we've seen a great experiment, and nobody knows it except those of us that have lived in this part of the country and Florida and Texas is, hey, I would like our people in New York and California to understand we didn't do all of that.
That's what I commented on this post.
We didn't shut down. We really didn't mask.
And we've had the same outcome as you have.
You have. Yes.
In some cases, better.
Yeah.
That is literally
Time
what
will
I
tell,
said
right?
in this comment. In the stream of comments, I said some parts of the country have been living fairly normally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the whole time.
Yep.
And I'm not sure people know this.
No, they don't.
No, they're shocked.
They're shocked to find out.
Because I have relatives in other parts of the country that they're like, you guys aren't.
And it's like we've had the same outcome you guys have had. We've had flares of high hospital and death, and then it has S-curve.
Yeah, I think the proof is in the pudding, which is 2 years you've had half the country quarantining, masking, mandate, stay home, and other half the country's like, we're going to do our thing, and it's the exact same outcome.
But again,
and if it's not,
freedom
tell
of
us.
speech,
like if it's not,
that freedom of
I wanna
speech deal,
know.
you've got people.
But that's
that are
misinformation,
saying,
and you can't say that.
Yeah, and so we're afraid to say these things, but now it's like, well, there's enough body of work now. I don't care. I'm saying this. And that doesn't mean...
We're going to get canceled.
No, it doesn't mean that we're being insensitive to the realities of this illness.
No,
it's not insensitive to
not.
the tragedy that some people have dealt with.
No, it's just saying that the heavy-handed government intervention,
pretending to
forcing
care,
this,
pretending to
did nothing.
Litigate it. Yeah.
I so wonder in
nothing.
10, 15 years how we will look back on this time. I really wonder that.
Oh yeah.
Well,
and
I think about it often.
What's been blowing my mind lately is some Instagram stuff about the Holocaust, where people are.
Thanks, Whoopi.
Oh, geez, Whoopi. So people are saying, do you understand that the Holocaust was not hundreds and hundreds of years ago?
No.
There's survivors alive.
Yes.
It's like, holy crap, things can get out of control really quickly in the modern world. And that's one of the worst. And
it's the danger of revisionist
but
history.
Our high school seniors learn about 9/11, 2001 as a historical event from before they were born. It's like JFK's assassination to me. It was a few years before I was born.
Yeah.
And it's ancient history to me because it was before I was born. And, we all remember that 9/11.
Oh, yeah. It was pivotal in my life.
Sure. And so there are people that lived through that Holocaust. They're like, no, wait, we saw it. We know it happened.
We know what happened. We know how
the Holocaust,
unbelievably awful humans behaved, right?
Mm-hmm.
And all of everything that happened in World War II, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God. When you think about it, it's mind-blowing.
Yes. It is.
And we're like, so now our 20-year-olds, right, their pivotal moment is COVID.
Yeah, probably. Mm-hmm.
Right? Because, I mean, I can't think of anything that's happened in the past.
The Gulf War would be the only, but that was still
it was still very, even growing up watching the Gulf War on news, it was still very detached from me. It was very far away. I knew I'd get concerned anytime they said that, missiles were being fired. And I guess
there were kind of two Gulf Wars.
Yeah.
There were Desert Storm, and then there was the Gulf War.
Because 9/11 was 20 years ago this past year, right?
Yeah. Ish. Yeah.
Ish. So we got to go back 15 years. Has there been a pivotal, because you start remembering stuff when you're 5-ish from history, right? Mm-hmm. So COVID is the first thing that's happened to these kids, I think. I can't think of another event.
Sure. No, that's it. I mean, I doubt many of them are talking about the housing crisis of 2008.
Well, interestingly enough, some of them do remember because they watched their parents go through bankruptcies. I've heard those comments said before. I'm like, well, you don't really understand what happened. And somebody said, this was a total person probably 10 years younger than me. We were talking real estate. I said, well, you don't understand what happened. He says, no, I do understand what happened. I watched my parents go through a bankruptcy.
Oh, wow. Yeah, then that would be formative for that family.
Mind blown. Yep. It was like, holy crap, that is a big point that I had never thought about because that was rough years, right? That sucked.
Yeah, it was.
So, I mean, it's real interesting. And now you see this, like I was watching some videos from athletes in China, country that doesn't have free speech.
I've yet to watch a single event.
The only thing I've watched in related to the Olympics was the Dutch reporter getting dragged off by the Chinese
I missed
police.
that one.
That was pretty awesome.
I missed that one.
I think he was just like broadcasting from somewhere he wasn't supposed to be, but like the Chinese goons come in and like they're dragging him and his cameraman
can't
off.
be there.
And then it's live on the air, and the reporter in the studio is kind of like, and we're back. He said it was in Dutch, so I don't know what they said. But
I did see the photographer's camera go down the downhill.
That was
slope,
funny. The
which was
camera
fun.
flipping.
Yeah.
Oh,
was
yeah,
like
yeah.
Took a nice-
$10,000 rolling down the hill or whatever.
Eesh.
That's the
But
only event I've seen.
I watched a video last night of I can't remember where she was from. I should have paid more attention, but it was her filming herself talking about she had been taken to one of the isolation. They're all isolated because
I
of
saw
quarantine. She thought she was she was sobbing, right?
Because she wasn't being
she's
fed
like,
properly.
She
and
wasn't.
she's
Well,
not.
she's like, I was told I was getting out of this facility and going back to the village, and then they took me someplace else. I didn't know where I was going, and I got to really thinking about what she was saying. Somebody showed up, put me in an ambulance, and took me somewhere that I didn't know where I was going.
In China.
That'd be so freaky.
Lauren would be going Liam Neeson, right? Nielsen, right? Because I'd be like,
Wait, in which movie?
Liam Neeson.
all of them, all of them. I'm like, you're not going to kidnap
The Phantom Menace.
Because, I mean, I'd start freaking out. I know myself, and I would literally start losing my mind. So, folks, let's be a little careful and appreciative about the American way of life.
No doubt. Yeah.
Seriously.
Well, it has to be defended.
Yeah,
that's
it
the
does.
thing. It has to be protected. But anyway, that was a fun show.
Fun times. Fun
we-
times. We started light, funny.
We got deep.
Yeah, we got deep.
Not
But
too
that's
deep.
okay.
Not too deep.
It wasn't too deep.
It was ankle deep.
It was ankle
And we
deep.
appreciate our loyal viewers commenting.
All the
That's
comments.
always fun.
Love the comments.
Yeah,
Love the comments.
I
Keep
do.
it going.
I love it. It's fun.
Sean, I need to come see you. I know. It's been a while. I need to get back over
I'm
there.
overdue to get some juice as
Yeah,
well.
overdue
I
to
need
get some juice.
energy from Nourished.
Yep.
What we're talking about is IV. People.
Yeah. To be clear, our good friend,
really weird.
Shauna Kaiser at Nourished Wellness.
Wellness.
You
She
get
does
a-
not put steroids. There are no performance-enhancing drugs in her.
Aw, thanks, Joe.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Joe says the show might be the area's best kept secret. The quality of the content is excellent and deserving of a much larger audience. How do we get this in front of more people?
Oh, my
thanks,
goodness.
buddy.
Oh, no, thanks, Joe. Appreciate it.
We get a pretty good audience.
We're-
A lot of people watch later.
We're
I've
trying
noticed.
to, honestly, we're trying to keep it a secret. We don't want too much attention.
We just don't want Mark Zuckerberg to watch.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. He's going to cancel us. But
Somebody who had,
Spotify can't have us.
I was talking to somebody over the
well,
weekend.
for 100 million.
Well, for 100 million, we might be.
Oh
sold.
yeah, no, I'm in. Totally. Yeah, I would just
You tell me what to say at that point.
I'm in.
No, I'm just kidding.
And then I'll do that for a couple of years, and you'll never see me again.
I am who I am. You
I'll
cannot
go
buy
away.
me out.
I'll go away if you do that. No, I was somebody.
Go away in a Chinese
and
ambulance?
no, not there.
Ambulance?
Because I will kick out the
Ambulance.
side of that ambulance, and people
Ambulance?
will get their necks cracked, and I don't even know how to do that. I mean, it's like putting a cat in a bag. It's not going to go well.
I don't want to see that.
No, you don't.
Oh, I kind of do.
I kind of, yeah.
I kinda do.
That sounds like more fun than watching you get in that bar stool every Tuesday morning.
Good times.
Okay, I got to go pick up my brother.
All right, Roger.
so-
Well, we'll see you next week. Thanks for watching.